What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video, I'm going to show you what's on my Mixbus. So my podcast, the Faders Up podcast, we recently did an episode called What's on My Mixbus, where we all share what we're using, and in this video, I'm going to show you what I'm using. And I think I'm also going to do a video where I show what I would use using just Studio One plugins on my Mixbus as well as Waves. So stay tuned to my channel for that. All right, let's get into this. So what I use on my Mixbus is a West Audio Dione. What I have is a limited edition version, and it's West Audio's VCA style bus compressor, very similar in feature set to a SSL style compressor, except this has a THD button that adds total harmonic distortion, which adds some saturation to my signal. So this compressor handles my bus compression as well as saturation. Following that, I have a limited edition Elysia X Filter 500 for my bus EQ. I very rarely use this, but when we get into this, I'll show you how I use it. And I also use one plugin on my Mixbus, and we'll get into that later. All right, let's take a listen to the West Audio in action. All right, so this is my API lunchbox. I call this my Mixbus lunchbox because most of what you see in here I use on my Mixbus. So this is the Elysia X Filter Elysia X Filter 500. That's my Mixbus EQ. This is a Smart C1 LA. I used to use this as my bus compressor, but I don't anymore. It's just still in here. But like I told you, what I use for my mixed bus compressor is this West Audio Dione. This is a limited edition Eclipse version. I think there's maybe 50 of these made, 50 or 100, something like that. I've been using this for over a year. I got this Christmas time 2021. So yeah, it's been over a year since I've been using it. And my favorite thing about it, you can see the USB connection here, is because this is plug-in controlled. And next to it, I have the West Audio Mimus, which is their 1176. That's plug-in controlled too. The West Audio Mimus I don't use on my Mixbus, but you will hear it actually in the track I'm going to play. It's on the vocals. But the West Audio Dione VCA style bus compressor, very similar to SSL if you look at the attack and release times and ratios and all that. Another killer feature on here is this THD button, which of course stands for total harmonic distortion, which adds saturation. So this compressor is my bus compressor as well as adding saturation when I need it, and I generally always have that THD in either at medium or high, just depending on, of course, what works best for the mix. The X Filter 500, so as a bus EQ, I don't do a lot of bus EQing. I very rarely use this actually, and the way that I do use it, this has a 28K shelf. I leave it set at 28K. I leave the high gain boosted to, I think it's probably at about 8 dB. And all I do whenever I want need my mix to be a little brighter, I just pop it in. That's it. I never change the settings on this EQ. I just bring in that high shelf, or most of the time I'll leave it out. But if I need it in, I can just pop it in, and there it is. All right, so let's check out how this sounds. So right now I have, this is a track from Simone Curry, and I've got the bus compressor set. I'm going to hit bypass, which I guess I can do from the plug-in as well. Might be easier. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna control this from the plug-in so you don't have to worry about my hand getting all in the way here. But bus compressor is set. I'm gonna play it through and I'll bypass it. You'll see this light here light up when it's bypassed, and I'll also bring in the THD from medium and high so you can hear what that sounds like. One more killer feature I forgot to mention, I don't really use it on here, but it is cool to have, especially with this being hardware, is this A and B. So just like Waves plugins has A and B that you can switch between, I can flip-flop between settings on A and then settings on B and see which one works best. But I don't use that on here, but cool feature to have. All right, so we're going to start with it bypassed.
Starts here. Your love makes the river flow.
right, let's bring in the Dione. And we've got the THD out.
Starts here. Your love makes the river flow. It's all that I've been waiting for, all I've been living for. Ooh, 'cause I've searched high and low, I've peeked over the mountains, through the valley, bottom of the ocean, cold and lonely, couldn't find nobody else, but now I know where I belong.
All right, now I'm going to play it and bypass it and bring it in and out so you can hear what it's doing. Again, no THD yet.
Starts here. Your love makes the river flow. It's all that I've been waiting for, all I've been living for. Ooh, 'cause I've searched high and low, I've peeked over the mountains, through the valley, bottom of the ocean, cold and lonely, couldn't find nobody else, but now I know where I belong.
All right, so with the Dione in, it just everything moves forward, which is what I love from SSL style bus compressors, which I love from the SSL bus compressors. One thing that I was really looking for as well in a bus compressor, that feeling of the vocals and everything coming forward, and that's what I get with this compressor, which is another reason again why I love this. All right, now let's add some total harmonic distortion, aka the saturation in. So it has two settings, medium and high, and then off. So we've had it off, and I'll flip now between the medium and high so you can hear what that does.
Starts here. Your love makes the river flow. It's all that I've been waiting for, all I've been living for. Ooh, 'cause I've searched high and low, I've peeked over the mountains, through the valley, bottom of the ocean, cold and lonely, couldn't find nobody else, but now I know where I belong.
All right, so with medium, it is subtle, but with high, you do really hear it. Again, everything just sounds fuller and thicker with that total harmonic distortion set to high. I normally have it at medium or high on my mixes, just one of the two. I really don't recall myself really not having it on at all. All right, let's move to the Elysia X filter, and I'm just going to bring this in and bring it out just to show you how I use it on my Mixbus here. And this is with it out.
First I wanna say sorry that I ever walked away, searching for a place that felt like home. But I feel better with ya. Yeah, I feel better with ya. Yeah, yeah. I'm made to be yours. All my yellow bricks lead to your door.
All right, so you're really just hearing it on the vocal there. It's exposed to, let me go to the part we had, is just because it's more going on there. Let's go to that hook. Okay, so this is with it out, and I'll bring it in.
Bottom of the ocean, cold and lonely, couldn't find nobody else, but now I know where I belong.
All right, so there's an example of that. Now let's move over into Studio One, and I'll show you the one plugin that I use on my Mixbus. So here's the West Audio Dione plugin, and one thing I want to mention here, on the plugin you can switch between A, B, and C as far as settings, but on the front of the hardware you just see A and B. Okay, the plugin that I use on my Mixbus is the BX meter, and I just use this to see where my levels are. So that's it. Very simple as far as what I use on my Mixbus, just a compressor. Very, very rarely use the EQ, but it's there if I need it. And then I've got the metering as the last thing just to see what my levels are. And that's it. Definitely comment. Let me know what you use on your Mixbus. I'd like to know what everyone is using. And I'll have a link in the description if you want to check out the episode and check out that episode, What's on Your Mixbus, where we discuss it. All right, if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to continue to see content from me, then you know what to do. Any questions, comments, let me know, and I'll catch y'all next time.